Moving further out. Peter may put it here on the left of the screen or the right of the screen. I'm not certain. There is a video I shared on my Instagram where a family's just talking about it. They're like, every day we're looking on realtor.com so that we can move, so we can keep having our middle class way of life. And I looked at the lady and I looked at the man. I'm like, what do they do? What are their jobs? They're living in California. So immediately they're talking about Idaho. Should we move to Iowa? Should we move to Texas? Should we move to Florida? And I think this is an amazing time that people are actually saying, I might pick up and move somewhere new. It's a part of the American story. Change is good. Change opens new doors. It makes you look at things differently. Okay. Now here's the problem with that. You're moving, but not addressing the real elephant in the room. Okay. Because here's what the number 4 things I kept hearing people say. Number 3 things. I want to live slower. I want to increase my income. And I want my kids to have a quality of life. Okay. Living slower, increase your income, quality of life. What they're saying is the taxes are terrible in California. And I get it. I hear you. They're terrible in New York, California. There are several cities. They're not getting the bang for their buck. They want to increase their income. How are they increasing their income? Some of these people are going to work remotely and get or overstack in the tech sector, overstack careers and live in somewhere that's much cheaper. That's the goal, right? Or as I've read, a lot of people, they sell their one house in California, their one house in New York, and they buy 2 or 3 when they get here to Texas, a rental and their personal home, right? My response to some of this is change the definition of what middle class is. A lot of these people are confronted with the reality of, oh, I'm middle class. I make all this money, but they don't have any assets. They don't have any recurring income that comes back to them. Some of them have 401ks and they're draining them or they're taking loans out for them. Mainly, they don't have assets, right? And what do I mean? The biggest thing on Bigger Pockets when you Google and look up stuff is how to buy homes out of state, how to buy cheaper properties out of state. One of the biggest, most selling courses I've ever sold on this whole channel, and as long as I've been on the internet, is my tax lien course. The most money I make from my affiliates is my tax deed partnerships that I have with several people. One of them common, Acre Boys. There's 3 million auctions this year. People have to actually get real assets. Most people are on level 1, and I call it level 1, level 2. Level 1 is I have good enough credit that I have a house, I have a car, and, I can probably get 1 credit card. When you start going level 2, level 3, level 2, level 3 is when most people should be waking up in their 40s and 50s and going, oh, I need more assets. I need something outside my job to retire. I need something outside of my pension, which most people don't have pensions anymore, to retire. Right? They're doing countless street interviews where people say, well, I got my Social Security. I got it early, but I'm broke. I don't make enough money. And 9 times out of 10, the guy's like, well, why don't you work under the pay? Why don't you do Uber? Why don't you do Lyft? Why don't you do this? Like they keep asking them, why aren't you doing things to supplement your income? Social Security was never meant to retire you. It was to supplement your pension, supplement your other retirement. They're telling you now they want to move the retirement age up to 70. 80% of our tax base right now in America is paid by the baby boomers. And they're retiring 10,000 people a day. 1 in 3 of those people have businesses they're trying to sell. So you have to understand we have a massive changing going on. So people want to feel middle class, but don't do real middle class things. Now, I think we talked about this in the past with DJ the Money Coach about like 2.5 million in assets is really the true definition of middle class, or someone who has a business is the real definition of middle class. The couple people I know who have an eye office, optometry office, and another lady who has a dentist office, they don't even think they're like, oh, I make decent income. I'm like, dude, you're making literally almost $300,000 to $400,000 a year. And again, that's what they pay themselves. But the building and the staff make you more than that. You don't even have to come in and do teeth no more. The one guy doesn't even have to come and do eye appointments anymore. He comes in here and there, but he usually is outside the country traveling. Having a cash flowing business is what makes them really middle class. Having assets that put money in their pocket every month makes them middle class. And once you get that budget, if you get a budget and you really look at your income and you really say, well, honey, we could stay in California if we get 3 or 4 rentals outside in New Jersey, or 3, preferably not New Jersey, 3 or 4 rentals in Texas, or 3 or 4 rentals in South Carolina, or 3 or 4 rentals in Ohio. We could stay here and keep living our life. And so what you're seeing is going to be a massive move of people going to homesteading and living more rural living so they can live slower and they can live bigger off of their budgets. Instead of addressing the elephant in the room, which is that we don't really have assets. So we really aren't middle class. We're working class. If we stop working, we lose everything. Not to dim you out, not to bore you out today, but I hope that was helpful. I keep seeing these arguments and I'm like, technically, the answer is right in front of you. You need more assets or you need a cash flowing business. The way our economy is tilted, you need to be very knowledgeable on ways to produce for your personal economy because you can't control the other economy, which is the macro. So anyways, you guys, this is your girl, Erica, Classic Blog. Later.